Welcome, Soul Sisters. I am Kelly, life coach.
And I'm Holly, owner of Holiday Farms, and we co host a group called Soul Sisters Gathering on the Farm every other Tuesday night here at my farm. And we are hoping that you would come and join us. And we want to make you feel more comfortable about coming to join us is by getting to know us and who we are. So, yesterday we did a little clip on getting to know Kelly. And today
I get to interview you.
you
Yes. Are
do.
you ready?
I have so many secrets I'm going to tell you all right now.
Okay.
Just kidding.
So I met you when our kids were both in elementary school,
Yes.
and I had the chance to do the Girls on the Run coaching with one of your daughters, and we just instantly clicked. And I think that's one of the hallmarks, although probably not always, of a soul sister is there's this sort of instant connection. Like you
Yeah.
sort of speak the same language
Yes.
and you're like, oh yeah, she's in my tribe.
Mm.
Yeah. And so one of the things I love about you is your ability to bring people together and build
Mm.
community. So I want you to share a little bit about that passion that you have and how that led you to have this beautiful farm and how that has led us to co-host the Soul
Mm.
Sister gatherings.
Well, I think kind of began just as a young girl growing up in a family, really all women. I do have an older brother. He went off to the Navy relatively quick. So I grew up in a house full of women, my mom and my sisters, and we had a lot of trauma experiences growing up. So we relied on each other tremendously.
Mm,
And although I had a lot of friends in high school and stuff, there was never this like need to not be myself and to go out and make friends. I mean, I had friends, but there was never like this need to go make friends because I had them. I
mhm,
had the best ones in my sisters.
mm,
And they were the ones that I could go to and be myself and talk to about anything. And generally, they always had pretty good wisdom too.
How
So
fortunate.
it was my sisters, yeah, that we got each other through our childhood for sure. And
Mhm.
still to this day as adult women. So I love women. Um, I love the community of women and what we can give each other.
Mhm.
And so then I went to college. I attended Liberty University and they had what were called SLDs. Liberty's a Christian college, and my degree was in biblical studies, and a SLD was a spiritual life director on each hall. And like an RA was in charge of the discipline on the hall, the SLD was in charge of the building community and the spiritual life of the girls in the hall. So I
That's
did
cool.
that for 4 years and I loved it.
Mhm.
They were all my sisters and they had no choice but to be my sisters. I was forcing friendship and they had no choice and I loved it. And we built such a great community and we'd all come back to the same hall every year to be together.
Wow.
And then we moved to Cleveland, and I had four babies in 3 years
Mm.
in Cleveland, Ohio, which snows 9 months out of the year, and you can't go anywhere or do anything most of the time. So I created a play group, and I invited all the ladies and moms from my church to come to my house every week because I didn't want to put four kids in snowsuits and travel out somewhere. It was pretty selfish, actually. And they all came to my house and we just really helped each other
Yeah.
through that time with babies and not knowing and getting pregnancy and pregnancy issues and
Right.
infertility issues and stuff and sleepless nights. And that was
Mm.
fantastic. And as sad as it was to leave Cleveland, we moved to Charlotte and I moved into this neighborhood that I didn't have any friends or knew anyone in the whole state. So I just thought I sat and talked with a girlfriend and we were like, let's just invite people to our houses and see what happens. And I created this group called Wine Down Friday. And every Friday, I invited every mom in the neighborhood, 287 homes, to my house with their kids if they wanted to have friendship.
I think that's one of the things that struck me. Well, two things when you told me that story years ago is one, you didn't wait to be invited into the already existing
Yeah,
social groups that were there because you weren't getting invited
I
and you felt
wasn't.
very left out being the new person that you
Yeah,
decided, wait a minute, I can just start my own.
I'll just do it.
So that was awesome. But also the fact that you opened it up to everybody, that you just included everyone, no one was left out.
No.
I just think, wow, what a big heart somebody has to have in order to say everyone's
Yeah,
welcome.
I just didn't. I tried for a few months to fit into cliques and groups of people, and everybody had established friendships, and I'm not knocking them for it, but I just didn't want another woman to enter the neighborhood and feel lonely, like she couldn't make any friends or have an opportunity. Now, obviously, I couldn't be close friends with everybody, but I facilitated friendships, and it
Mhm.
grew and created it's just such a wonderful community of women who got to see each other every Friday. And sometimes they would come without their kids. And I was so down with that because it was it was for our kids to get
Well, it
to,
was really for
but it
you
was
with
really
a
for
side
us.
benefit for the
It
kids.
was a side benefit for the kid. It was really for us ladies to get together and have community and connection.
Yeah.
And so then I lived there for 10 years and it was fantastic. And I love all of those women and still go back and see them and adore them. But I have moved 30 minutes away to this farm and it was
So describe a little bit for people the change in environment from where you were to where you are now, because it is drastically different.
drastically different. I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of homes. We had a beautiful community center with a pool and playground and a clubhouse and tennis courts
And
and stuff.
social events.
And I threw over 200 social events every single year in this neighborhood. Because I
Which, little side plug, she's an amazing event planner. So if you have a party coming up, reach out.
thank you. Um, and I did it for free for my friends and neighbors because first of all, I was able to spend somebody else's money, the HOA, and be able to throw all these amazing parties to bring women and couples and families and people together. So, um, you know, I got divorced, and that was a big change. But my whole life, I was married for 20 years. My whole life, we had talked about moving out into the country and getting a little white farmhouse and having lots of land and kids four-wheeling and fishing and stuff. So we didn't do that for
Hmm.
the 20 years of marriage. So when we got divorced, I was like, I'm doing it.
Still my dream.
Still my dream.
Yeah.
And we moved. My kids weren't so excited about it initially because they were going to miss their neighborhood and friends. But I bought 15 acres of land in Monroe, North Carolina, and I now have a fishing farm here. So every weekend, people can come here and fish. And I love that. I get to meet so many new people as a result. And I've become a pretty good fisherwoman myself. And
I think the word's angler, right?
it's actually just Fisher.
Fisher.
Just
Oh,
Fisher.
okay.
I'm a good fisher. And I moved to the 15 acres and renovated the property, and it was a huge undertaking. But, you know, nothing good comes easy. It stretched me. It certainly caused me to realize, wow, I am all alone out here. Um, it's 30 minutes to my old neighborhood with my girlfriends, and it's 20 minutes to to Walmart.
Hmm.
But I love it because I
Hmm.
sit out here every night in my hot tub and look at the beautiful stars, and
Hmm.
it's just peaceful and relaxing and amazing. And um I'm turning it into an event venue, so it'd be good for my business as well. But it just fills my soul. But the
Mhm.
only thing that was missing was that I don't have girlfriends close by coming over and hanging out. So once again, if you build it, they will come. That's what
She's
I, you know,
planning another community to build.
planning another community to build. Yes. I just want women, but this time it's going to be more than about friendship.
Mhm.
It's about being seen and
Mhm.
deep connections,
Mhm.
and where we can just drop our ego at the door. I like to call it our masks,
Mhm. Yeah.
how we try to present ourselves to the world as this perfect wife and mom and,
Yeah.
you know, PTA member. We can just drop all of that at the door and gather around a fire and talk about, some really deep stuff. Like,
Mhm.
what is the purpose of life?
Mhm.
And how do I be more authentic? And
Mhm.
how do I love myself more so that I can love other people and my children better and my spouse better and my
Mhm.
friends better? Um, I just want to go a little deeper with this community this time around. And that's where you come in because she's an amazing life coach. And
Thank you.
we read a lot of the same books, but she does this full time. I plan the parties. Okay. So I
But
love that.
how's the person that when, if you've ever picked up a self-help book or personal growth book, they'll have like the action at the end of the chapter. It'll be like a writing prompt or a to-do thing. She actually does it. You really do. Like you've incorporated things with your kids.
Yes.
You've worked things into like you are a massive action woman. You're like a action superhero. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. So
Sometimes, until you find me crying on my bathroom floor having a panic attack because,
and then you have a soul sister that picks you up off
yes,
the floor and
exactly.
say, talk to me about it. What's going on?
Yeah, I just love community. I was a youth pastor for a long time as well, and I love young women. And hopefully, we'll be able to. Right now, our we are doing 25 and older for this group because this is just more mature topics and subjects, which is really fun. But my goal is for us to also create a young women's group as well that
Hmm.
we can, help them explore and understand themselves and love themselves as well.
I love that. I
Yes.
love that. Maybe our kids will help us with that.
Yeah, here's hoping. We got four girls between the two of
We
us.
do. We
And
do.
then I got two boys. They can set up the chairs and bring them down.
Yeah. So as you can see, she's a lot of fun. She's
Mhm.
just funny and
Inappropriate.
sometimes I am too.
Mouth of a sailor.
Um, we should mention that we both sometimes cuss, you a little bit more than me. So if that offends you, you may want to stay home. But
Yes. I'm sorry.
if you're not offended by that and you want to come and laugh and let your soul be stirred, then come join us.
Yes. And remember, be kind to yourself.